Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Partners in Ovation. The real reason of why we keep partnering with all these different wonderful guests is just so you can really see in our communities how broad we are, that we have a lot of people who really care about our community and we care about theirs, and we are able to offer more services and more resources by having Partners in Ovation. And today I am so excited because this is a colleague and a dear friend of mine, and you are going to absolutely enjoy this piece today because I have my friend Enid Bootzin, who runs Hearts to Home. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Enid, and Enid and I are just going to talk about what exactly is she doing. Hi, Enid.
Hi, Trish.
I'm so happy you're here. A lot of people don't know this, Enid, about you, but you were the director next door at the Jewish home for 4 years. And that's where I first met you, and I think that was in my journey of when I was doing programming, and I can remember going over to the Kosher Oasis for lunch and seeing you. I think it was at the counter. I think at that time we might have had stools or whatever, and just kind of getting to know you over lunch. And one of the things that that stuck out in my mind, I was 37 years old, and I was just starting a new career, and you just were so kind and mentoring and sweet, and I just thought, wow, what a great person to have at the head. So now we see it ahead how many years later, because remember, I was 7, you were 22.
Right, exactly.
And now we're here, and you've been in the health field for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me about your experiences, and then how did you land with Hearts to Home?
Well, I've been doing this a very long time. I've been in healthcare almost 50 years.
Wow, fantastic.
So, and it was a happy accident, actually. When I graduated from Alverno with my degree in music therapy, geriatrics was the last thing I was going to do. I wanted to work in psych. I interned at St. Mary's Hill. That was what I wanted to do. My brother owned a nursing home at the time, and he said to me, "You're going to come work in the nursing home until you decide what you want to do." And I thought, a nursing home? What do I want to work in a nursing home for?
Right.
But I went to work in the nursing home and fell in love. This was definitely the population I wanted to be with. And he actually was responsible for putting me on this journey, because I started out as a music therapist at the nursing home where he was working.
Mm-hmm.
I became an activity director. And then I moved on to the Milwaukee Jewish Convalescent Center,
Mm-hmm.
where I was mentored by Ben Lang.
Wow.
Ben Lane, and he's the one that really encouraged me to get my license. So I became a nursing home administrator and moved on from there, and that was my journey.
Amazing. And it's so wonderful because you learn the business inside out.
I did.
Yeah, and you found something so incredible.
Yeah.
Tell me about Hearts to Home, okay? Other than the caregivers that I know that you provide, because I know here there are a lot of amazing caregivers that some of our residents have here, and
Correct.
we really enjoy them. And again, it feels like much more like a family. And even though they're not my own staff, they really are endearing, and they really help make this community too, which is really great. What other supportive services does Hearts to Home offer?
In addition to providing the caregiver, of course, we also provide care management. We have an RN nursing service who help coordinate medications and oversee care. We have a social worker who is very involved with the clients as well, providing therapy and just helping the families work through end-of-life issues as well. Mm-hmm. So we really kind of offer a complete package. When someone hires Hearts to Home to take care of their family member, they get, at no extra charge, the care management and the social work piece. So they're not paying extra for that. It's included in the package. If we're not providing care for the client and they just want care management, then of course there's a charge for that, but we can do that as well. And we're a family. We are a family. We're not a franchise. I started this business 20 years ago, this year actually. We are 20 years old this year.
That's mazel tov.
Thank you. And we started out as Creative Dimensions in Care. And my tagline was always from our hearts to your home. And then through the years, Richard and Joyce Coury became involved and actually purchased the business from me. And then I continued working and being their coordinator. And they changed the name to Hearts to Home, which was perfect because it really is from our hearts to your home. So we've been working together as a family, and our caregivers are part of the family. The caregivers call me mother.
No.
So that kind of gives you an idea of how this goes. So I'm kind of the mother of the group, and I do all of the intake and some of the care management along with our social worker as well.
Oh, that's great. Enid, what do you think that families should consider when deciding to hire a private caregiver versus a caregiver from Hearts to Home?
I think that people need to be careful when they're hiring a private caregiver. They have to understand that they really are on their own. They don't have any protection. So if something happens, if something gets stolen, if something happens to their loved one, some kind of an accident or, God forbid, abuse, they have nowhere to turn. They have no backup. They're on their own. If that private caregiver can't work for some reason, they may have to take care of their parent or their loved one. They're not going to have that backup. So I always say, you need to be careful. It may be cheaper, but it may not be the right way to go.
And sometimes you get what you pay for.
Right. In an agency, when you're working with an agency, and especially Hearts to Home, you're protected. All of our caregivers are insured and bonded. If somebody can't show up, we're going to make sure somebody's there. And we train our caregivers. We're constantly working with them to make sure that they're able to take care of the client, no matter how difficult. And we take care of people who are very complicated. Some people are just companionship, and some need total care till the end of life.
What kind of training do you do? Do you do special dementia training?
We
do. I mean, I would think that in order to be a really good caregiver, you would provide the resources and give them that education.
That's correct. We do. We give them dementia care training. We give them training on lifting and transferring, how to work with a Hoyer lift. The Jewish Home actually has been very generous in allowing us to use your education room on occasion, and we've had our caregivers come and do education with our educators in your space, which has been really wonderful and very helpful.
Well, you're one of our favorite partners, so it works both ways, which is really great. You have been really, I think, just outstanding and wonderful to our community and our residents and staff. And, we love the caregivers that we have from Hearts to Home. Walk us through of the process of how you match a caregiver to a resident.
So it starts out with an assessment, and I'm usually the one that will come out and do the assessment, an in-person assessment, which gives me an idea of really what the client needs, and then I can also see the personality. So I can tell better of how I can make that match. Then I go back to the office where we work as a team and discuss the needs of the client and who of the caregivers are available and who would be a good match. And then we figure it out and put them together. And as I tell the client and the family, we always try and make a good match. But sometimes personalities just don't mesh. And then they need to call us right away, and we will try somebody else. They're never committed to one caregiver. We'll always try and make this work.
It's great. So really the old Yiddish proverb of it's a shidduch.
It is, and I've
right?
said that, right? And I say that.
Totally a shidduch,
It's a shidduch.
which means a match. And really, it's just kind of like when you're dating almost. You know, some of the same things that you're trying
Right.
to figure out.
Right.
Who's who and whatever. So if it doesn't work between one caregiver, then you just try another caregiver.
We try someone else, right?
Yeah, which
but
is
we really
wonderful.
try and take into account the personalities and the needs.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So tell me, there's a lot of fun facts that I do know about you, and I always ask my guests, tell me a fun fact that I don't know about you.
What don't you? You know a lot about me.
I
so
do.
I'm not sure there's
Well,
anything
you
I
can
tell
you know, for our audience, it's all going to be a fun fact.
Okay, so you introduced me as Enid Bootzin, which is true. The community really knows me as Enid
Yes.
Bootzin, but I'm Enid Bootzin Berkovits. I did get married along the way.
Yeah, to the nicest, sweetest man.
Yes, absolutely.
With and with your little dog.
Right, I have 3 little dogs.
Okay.
But the first one, Sparky,
Okay.
that was really Abe's dog. Sparky was definitely.
I remember Sparky coming to visit
That's
with
correct.
Abe.
That's correct. And Sparky was our first therapy dog, as it were. And he would visit the residents.
Yeah, Sparky was a hit.
Yeah.
So was your husband. He was delightful.
Yes, absolutely.
A delightful man.
Yeah.
Also, there is a connection with you and your music.
Yes.
And so there's another love there besides your business.
Right.
Tell about that passion.
So I direct the Milwaukee Jewish Community Chorale. I also direct the Beth Israel Ner Tamid Synagogue Choir. And I've been doing my music for forever. My father had a band. and
Oh, he did. That is a
did.
fun fact I don't know.
Okay, so my father had a band, played for lots of weddings and bar mitzvahs, all of the parties, and we have a very musical family, and that was my first love. When I was a teenager, I studied music from the time I was 13,
Wow.
and I was going to be an opera singer. And I was singing with the Milwaukee Opera Company, sitting backstage one day in the chorus, talking to a music therapist who was also in the chorus.
Wow.
And that's how all of that started. But I'm still singing.
I know you are.
And I'm
and
still
we
directing.
always love the chorale. You know, we've
Yeah.
had the chorale here many, many times. I know now you're doing it virtually.
We are.
Which has to be very challenging.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
But we hope to do a mini virtual concert at the end of March. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, you know, we would love to have you. You can Zoom with us because we enjoy the chorale so much.
And we love coming here and singing for all of the residents.
That's great. Tell me what you love about coming to Ovation High Point.
There's just such a special feeling here. When you talk about family, it is family. And I think because of my own connection with the Ovation communities, my work here as administrator, and when I was here, High Point was brand new. So sometimes I would be touring people here to come live here. And so it was exciting. And so I feel a real connection with this community. My heart is here in every way. And I've always said, when you walk into this building, there's just a wonderful feeling here. You know that you're home.
Thank you. That's so beautiful. It's a very Hamish, warm community.
It is.
And we're glad
Absolutely.
you're part of it. I want to thank you, Enid, for being my guest today and partnering for us. And, much success, and thank you for helping us and being one of our partners.
And thank you.
You're so welcome. And if you like today's Partners in Ovation, please follow us, because we would love to see you. Press the like button on Facebook and LinkedIn. We're starting to get more than 7 people following us. It's very exciting. There's a lot of great information in this series. So again, thank you for tuning in. See you next time.